What do you say to me? What would you have told me if I was one of your subordinate soldiers? I'm like, Sergeant Major, I'm getting out. I want to go do this real estate thing.
It happened all the time, honestly, especially in our unit. I mean, we had a lot of guys and gals, that had multiple degrees. Was tired, was ready to go do something else, to see what civilian world was like. And they at senior ranks as a sergeant major, then you had to come see me as part of our retention reenlistment program.
Yeah.
Which I didn't necessarily like. I'm like, oh, this guy's they're getting out. I mean, I'm not going to twist their arm.
Yeah.
But, for our seniors, our first class, master sergeants, and even staff sergeants I bring in, and we'd sit down, over coffee on a couch. It wasn't formal. It was just a conversation. And I would always open it up. Hey, you know why you're here, right? And, it'd be, all this I'm like, I was told,
by the way, Sergeant Major calls you in your office and sits down and drinking coffee. You're not thinking everything's all right.
Yeah, generally it wasn't, but but we tried to be in an organization. You wanted to help people be successful in whatever they did, and maybe I was not the norm in that. I assumed that other people did it in my position too. Maybe they didn't, but you always wanted people to be successful, and you wanted them to continue to be advocates and recruiters for the military, because I didn't want to, if I had sat down with Mike, I didn't want Mike to get out and then be disgruntled and then, telling this horror story of the military, because you're a soldier for life. I mean, and that's sort of a cliche, but, if my son ran into Mike, it was like, I think I'll join the Army. You wouldn't want a guy like Mike to, have this terrible idea, but share his experience and why I got out and how things worked out. But I would have told you, hey, first thing I always ask, so why? Why are you getting out? And then you have that conversation. Okay. And then that next piece is, what's your plan?
Yeah, exactly.
And it was always a 50-50. Some people had like this amazing plan. I had one kid that had went to Duke, was the valedictorian at Duke, came in after 9/11, was motivated post 9/11 like a lot of people were, and served and did 6 years, had 4 or 5 deployments in my battalion, and was going back to get his master's degree at Duke. And if you're here in North Carolina, Duke is not an easy school to get into to begin with. And so this guy was super smart and he had a plan. But then I had other people, that had no plan. So that is where I sort of threw back at, okay, if Mike had said, hey, I'm getting out, I'm going to this real estate thing, I got my license, I'd have been like, okay.